Josh Vlogger, top bloke here with factorising the difference of two squares. So, when factorising difference of two squares, what we need to look at is we're looking for a squared and b squared, a squared minus b squared. And we can simplify that down just by finding the square root of each of those terms. So, here's a couple we've done already. So, we've identified that 16 is 4 squared, and x squared is just x squared. We've pulled that out and made it into our difference of two squares. In the second example here, we've got 9x squared. 9 is a perfect square, square root of 9 being 3, so we end up with our little 3x here. And we've got minus 100, so that's going to be 100 squared. 100 squared, it's going to be 10 squared. So that's where we get our 3x plus 10, 3x minus 10. In our final example, we've got numbers first. We've got 25, which is 5 squared, and we've got minus 4y, which is 2y squared. 2 2s are 4, that's how we get our 4. So when we do our factorising, we've got 5 minus 2y, 5 plus 2y. It doesn't matter which order you put the factors in, it just works that way. So when we're factorising things like this one, we've got x squared, so that's x squared minus 4, whoops, eraser, 2 squared. So expanding that out, we're going to end up with x plus 2, x minus 2. And that's how we factorise it. Once we've got our two squares, plus 1 and a minus 1. So in this one here, we've got 9a squared. 9's a perfect square, so we've got 3a squared minus 5 squared. Once we've found the square, our two squares, we just write it out. 3a minus 5, 3a plus 5. Each time, once we've done the hard work, once we've found the two squares, nice and easy. This one, we've got 81. 81 happens to be 9 squared, so we've got 9x all squared, and we've got y squared. 9x minus y, 9x plus y. Again, once we've done the hard work, once we've found out the two squares, we go from there. This one here is a little bit different. We've got a common factor of 2, so I'm going to take that common factor out first, and I'm left with b squared minus 16. I can see that that's the same as common factor of 2 out the front, b squared minus 4 squared. So I've got two perfect squares, so writing it out, I'm going to put the 2 out the front. I've got b minus 4 and b plus 4. If you get stuck on one of these and you're trying to work out, you can't find a perfect square, see if there's a common factor you can pull out first. This one here, we've got a binomial binomial square. So exactly the same, it's x plus 1 squared minus 4 being 2 squared. So you've got x plus 1 minus 2, x minus 1 minus 2. And we can tidy those up a bit and end up with x minus 1, x minus 3. We'll have a look at the enrichment questions in a moment. Rightio, on to the enrichment questions. So, in this one here, we've got an interesting one. I love fractions. Fractions make my day. So we've got x squared, and we've got 1 over 4, which is actually, when you work it out, it's a half squared. Oops. I should know by now to do those properly. So I've got to fix up my mistake there. I had a negative there, which it should have been, rather than a positive. So writing it out, we've got x minus a half, x plus a half. And truthfully, I could go further and multiply them both by 2 and end up with 2x minus 1 and 2x plus 1, which I think I might actually do. 2x minus 1, 2x plus 1. And that makes it a bit nicer. In this one, we've got a common factor. We're going to pull that common factor out. Now, believe it or not, the common factor is actually half. So pulling my half out, I end up with a squared on 4, 4 being a perfect square. I've got b squared on 9, 9 being a perfect square. So I'm going to just write my common factor out the front. So our perfect square is a on 2, and my b one is b on 3 squared. So we got a on 2 plus b on 3, a on 2 minus b on 3. Sorry, that one's not terribly neat, but you get the idea. And my last one, I've got x to the power of 4, which is x squared minus y squared. So my common factors, my two squares is x squared plus y squared, and I got x squared minus y squared. And that's all we have to do.